If you haven't seen the previous episode videos, click the links in the description. There is no dialogue in the first 5 minutes of the 5th episode. During these first few minutes, Ramin Djawadi's soundtrack plays in the background. First, we see the Knights of the Vale preparing for an attack. Then a shot of the Lannister, Tully, and Stark army marching to the Vale. Jaime, Bronn, Edmure, and Jon are seen leading their men. Then we see the Golden Company boarding Euron's ships. The Knights of the Vale see a huge ice storm approaching slowly. Yohn Royce commands the Knights of the Vale to keep their dragon glass spears ready. Robin Arryn is in command of the archers. Lord Royce isn't pleased to have Robin Arryn commanding their men. You can literally read that from his face. This is when the music stops, and Yohn Royce commands his men to keep ready. Whites start to invade the Bloody Gate. Robin Arryn is commanding the archers, but fails miserably. Inside the Eyrie, we see Sansa with Gendry and Brienne. Sansa tells Gendry she hopes he'll come back. Gendry expresses his doubt. He says goodbye to Sansa and joins the fight. Brienne also wants to join the fight, but Sansa isn't too fond of that idea. She wants Brienne to stay with her, but Brienne says she can't save Sansa if the Whites invade the Eyrie as well. She said she swore to protect Sansa, and the best way to do that is to keep the Night King's army from entering the Eyrie. Sansa hugs Brienne, and thanks her for everything she has done to protect her family. Brienne leaves to join the fight. News reaches Dragonstone that the Golden Company is on its way to attack Queen Daenerys. Daenerys commands her remaining Unsullied and Dothraki to protect Dragonstone from invasion. Varys advises her to leave Dragonstone, but Daenerys refuses to do so. This is when she realizes that her water has broken. Missandei and Samwell help Daenerys to bed. Samwell is worried because Daenerys' baby is coming way too soon. In the next scene, we see 3 White Walkers watching the Whites win from a distance. The Night King is flying on Viserion above the White Walkers, observing the battlefield. Apparently, Viserion has lost one of his eyes, and his right wing is gravely injured. On the ground, Brienne is fighting for her life. Robin Arryn is attacked by Whites. He runs away to hide inside the Eyrie. Sansa confronts him that he promised to fight with his men, but Robin expresses his lack of interest in the survival of his men. Brienne, Lord Royce and Gendry continue to fight, but it seems like they're losing. A roar of a dragon is heard, and the White Walkers join the war as well. Viserion flies above Lord Royce and his men, and sets them afire. Then we hear the roar of another dragon. The Night King looks behind, and sees Jon Snow on Drogon. Beneath Jon Snow are the Tully, Lannister and Northern armies. Lots of Whites are set afire by Drogon, while the Westerosi army slaughter them. It looks like dragon fire doesn't affect the White Walkers though. Bronn manages to kill a White Walker with 2 spears of dragon glass. Jaime sees that Brienne is in trouble with another White Walker. She gets stabbed in the guts, and that's when Jaime goes mad and stabs the White Walker from behind. Brienne is dying, and Jaime holds her in her arms. She asks Jaime to keep Sansa and Arya safe, as she promised to Lady Catelyn. Jaime says he will do that for her. Brienne's last words are that Jaime is an honorable man. She dies in his arms. In the next scene, Arya, the Hound, and Nymeria enter a Snowy King's Landing. The Hound remarks that he hasn't missed the stinking city at all, and Arya agrees. Arya notices that the city has changed a lot since she left, as she walks past a destroyed Sept of Baelor. To be in the same place again reminds her of Ned Stark. She tells the Hound that it's time to pay the Lannisters their debts. In Dragonstone, Daenerys is starting to labor. Samwell and Missandei help her with it. Varys watches a smaller part of the Golden Company invading the shores of Dragonstone. The Unsullied try to defend the castle. The Dothraki fight them on shore. Jorah and a small part of the Northern army join the fight as well. Jorah tries to get inside the castle. In the Eyrie, the army of the dead is diminishing by the second. Edmure and Jaime are leading their men very well. The Night King is no longer mounting Viserion, and tries to get inside the Eyrie with another White Walker. Viserion tries to attack Gendry and opens his mouth to breathe fire on him. Gendry shoves a dragon glass spear into Viserion's mouth. Viserion falls from the rocks of the Bloody Gate, and it is Drogon who finishes the job and sets Viserion on fire. Jon and the Night King fight each other, and the Night King is killed by Jon. As he dies, all the remaining White Walkers in white seemingly die too. In the next scene, Jorah makes it into the castle and finds Daenerys in labor. Things don't look too bright for her. Samwell concludes that both mother and child could never survive together, and he only can save one of them. Jorah wants Daenerys to survive, but Daenerys doesn't want to give up on her baby. Samwell gets through and Daenerys manages to deliver her baby. Samwell tells Daenerys that it's a girl and asks for her name. Daenerys says that she wants to name her baby Lyanna, as Jon would have liked that. Daenerys is very weak and dying. Missandei, Varys, and Jorah realize that the Golden Company has the upper hand and is able to invade the stairs to Dragonstone. Daenerys says goodbye to Jorah and thanks him for always being there for her. Jorah expresses his love for her, and Daenerys asks Jorah to keep his oath and to keep her daughter safe. She asks Jorah to release her from her suffering and to kill her. Jorah says he could never do that. It's Varys who puts Samwell's sword, Heartsbane, through Daenerys' chest. Cersei receives Qyburn in the throne room. He has come to tell her that Daenerys has been defeated. Cersei laughs and both drink to celebrate their victory. Soon, Cersei begins to feel dizzy and the viewers realize that it's Arya with Qyburn's face. She has poisoned Cersei with the poison that Jaqen gave her. Qyburn, who is actually Arya, starts to confront Cersei. Cersei realizes that something is not right. This is when Arya reveals her identity. She says that a lion should have never messed with a pack of wolves. Cersei asks the Mountain to kill Arya, but Arya tells her that won't help. This is when Nymeria and the Hound enter the scene. Nymeria gravely injures Cersei and the Hound combats with the Mountain. It's Arya who finishes Cersei by slitting her throat. Nymeria and the Hound attack the Mountain, but he doesn't seem to be affected. The Mountain loses his helmet at some point during the fight, and that's when the Hound manages to burn his face with fire. The Mountain is left to die as the Hound, Arya, and Nymeria leave the Red Keep. The Golden Company enters the castle and asks Varys to hand over Daenerys to them. Varys tells them that Daenerys has died. A few soldiers clear Varys out of their way and stab him. They indeed find Daenerys' body and take it with them. Samwell is able to hide himself together with Missandei and Daenerys' baby. The Golden Company goes back to King's Landing. Euron Greyjoy arrives back in King's Landing and finds out that Queen Cersei has been killed. He pretends to be saddened by her death. Jon and Sansa arrive in Dragonstone to find out that everyone has been slaughtered. Samwell meets him on the castle stairs with Jon's child in his arms. Jon starts to weep. He asks if Daenerys made it, but Samwell sadly tells him that she did not. He tells Jon that she named their daughter Lyanna Targaryen. In the last scene, Euron Greyjoy's coronation is shown. He is made King of the Seven Kingdoms and the episode ends. To receive leaks of the next season 8 episodes in your newsfeed, hit the subscribe button below. If you like this video, please share it.